We got some big time news for you Jets fans around wide receiver Garrett Wilson that we'll break down on today's show. Then also I do want to dive into 5 players who stepped up in that massive victory for the Jets over the Browns. Then Aaron Glenn talked to the media yesterday. So we're going to be diving into some of those press conference takeaways. But my name is Patrick Siepman, and welcome into the show. But Rich Cimini tweeting this out, and it's not good news, saying bad news for the Jets offense. Garrett Wilson is expected to miss at least 3 to 4 weeks with a knee sprain. Good news is no surgery, just rehab. So obviously Garrett Wilson, he was battling back from that knee injury this past week against the Cleveland Browns, re-aggravated it, and it ends up being a 3 to 4 week injury. And listen, I know this is not a fun take to have out there, but I truly do believe this. I think the Jets should shut down Garrett Wilson for the season. Now, I think this is twofold because I think if the Jets had a young quarterback who is developing and, let's just say they drafted a guy like Jackson Dart or Tyler Shuck this past season, I would say yes. No matter what, get Garrett Wilson back out there, have him build that chemistry with that quarterback, just make his life a whole lot easier and help him develop. But the Jets don't have that. It's either Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor. I guarantee you, the starting quarterback for the Jets week 1 of next season is not on the roster today. And Garrett Wilson, he's clearly like the main piece of this offense moving forward. So this is an injury. He is re-aggravated. I would not want Garrett Wilson to go back out there. Jets season, even though it's all fun, haven't lost a game since October 19th, but you're still no chance of making the playoffs. So I would shut Garrett Wilson down, have him starting to get ready for next season. Again, not a fun take to have, but I think it's probably the best move for the Jets, moving forward and thinking more long term instead of the short term here over the next couple of weeks. But Garrett Wilson, got to show him some love. Still one of the best wide receivers in the National Football League. Pretty rough year for him. I mean, obviously, was hoping him and Justin Fields would have that same connection they had back at Ohio State, but this ended up not being the case. So if you guys want to show Garrett Wilson some love, type those 5s down below. All right, let's talk about it. Some New York Jets players who stood out against the Cleveland Browns. Obviously, it was an interesting game. You have 2 special teams touchdowns. The offense was absolutely terrible, but I think the biggest reason why the Jets won, if you're not going with the special teams here, it was the edge rusher Will McDonald. Will McDonald was absolutely fantastic. 4 sacks in that game. Was really just wrecking havoc. And, when you have a smaller quarterback like Dylan Gabriel, like if you are able to get home, like you should be able to get him down. And that's what Will McDonald did. 4 sacks on 8 pressures. That's a fantastic average. And his pressure percentage was 21.6. He had in himself a hell of a day. Even guys like John Gruden were giving him a massive shout out. So having that premier edge rusher, is huge. And also Will McDonald has struggled a lot this season. So I was happy to see, him kind of get back to like the player we kind of thought he was going to be, being a former first-round pick, just that pure edge rusher, a freak athlete. The one thing about Will McDonald, like his one super kind of star trait he has or superstar move is just the bend he has. Like he's a super bendy athlete, which will obviously keep translating as he keeps on getting older throughout his NFL career. But shout out to Will McDonald. If I had to give a game ball from that one, it would probably go to him. And then how about the kick returner, Kene Nwangwu? This guy's absolutely unreal. I still can't believe that the Vikings cut him a couple years ago and the Jets were able to pick him up. But his one-cut ability is just absolutely unreal. He's got great vision, and, he proved he still got it. Like, he is still a tremendous, tremendous player. And Kene is just, he's just such a weapon to have on special teams because it's not just like the plays where he'll take it to the house, go score 6 points like he did in this one, but just flipping the field consistently. And he also makes other teams, question if they want to kick to him. Like, would we rather just give the ball to the Jets at the 35-yard line with how bad their offense is, or do we want to give number 34 a chance? I bet you this Thursday night against the Patriots, I'm going to call my shot here. I bet you they only give the Jets maybe 1 or 2 opportunities to return a kick, if that. Because if I was the Patriots special teams coach, I'm saying I'd rather have the Jets start off at the 35-yard line every single time instead of giving that madman a chance in the return game. But also another guy that was balling out and helping out the special teams, Isaiah Williams. I'll say Isaiah Williams, sneaky good pickup by Darren Muji. I think we give like Jarvis Brownlee all types of love, but Isaiah Williams, he has been awesome. And it's crazy like how far the special teams unit has came from like that week 1 game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. We were saying the biggest reason why the Jets lost to the Steelers was because of the special teams. Obviously the defense didn't have a good performance, but the kick returners, the punt returners did not have a good outing. And Isaiah Williams, I mean, you just kind of feel happy for that guy. Been taking him a long time to finally, break through and get that touchdown. But he also had this to say on it. He said it was a lot of emotions with that being my first return touchdown in my life. how things have turned around these last few weeks. There was a lot of emotions going into that, most of all being able to help the team win, being able to make plays this week. Going into this week, we knew that this was going to be a good defense. We knew we had to be explosive in the return game, and me and Kane took that personally. I absolutely freaking love that. Just the fact that you got two returners, almost acknowledging where it's like, hey, we know our offense, one struggling the entire season, going up against a good Browns defense. Kane and Isaiah Williams being like, hey, we'll put the team on our back. We'll take this personally, have two return touchdowns. So shout out to those two guys. Dynamic back there, can really just change a game because even though the Jets struggle in this season, if you can have two elite returners, that can really be special. So shout out to Kane and Isaiah Williams. Those two are just they're also fun to watch. They make kick returns and punt returns fun to watch every single week. So shout out to those two guys. And also shout out to a guy that battled through some adversity this week. Quincy Williams. Now, I was also shocked that the Jets kind of benched him heading into this game, but when he was out there, he was fantastic. 7 tackles, 2 TFLs, playing good against the run, 1 sack and 1 QB hit. And I don't know if this was Aaron Glenn kind of playing the gamesmanship of hey, I want to piss Quincy off a little bit, kind of build that chip on his shoulder. But I mean, he definitely turned a rough week in the motivation. He had his brother Quinnen Williams traded. He got word that he was getting benched. And, he could have been a guy that just said, oh, I'm going to curl up. I'm going to feel bad for myself. He did the opposite of that. He rose to the moment. He had a tremendous game, so it was good. Just because also that guy, Quincy's got the talent to be one of the better linebackers in the league. Let's just see if he can, finally keep playing some good football here for this defense. But I think probably the most, how do I want to phrase this? I would say positive long-term for the Jets out of this game was Membu and Fashanu. I really do believe this. I think the Jets have the tackles for the future, and we kind of thought that throughout the year. But Sunday, they were absolutely awesome. Myles Garrett finishing with 2 pressures, 1 sack, and a PFF grade of 58.2. Unbelievable. It was his lowest pass rush grade of the season and his second lowest single game grade over the last 6 years. And Garrett was matched up with Fashanu for 34 of his 42 defensive snaps, and Membu for the other 8. Fashanu and Membu combined for 1 sack and 2 pressures all game. And the 1 sack where he beat Fashanu, it was just, Myles Garrett going complete freaky athlete Superman mode there. But consistently throughout the game, I mean, they were winning those matchups. And I'll tell you what, if you're Fernando Mendoza, if you're maybe Kyler Murray or any of these other quarterbacks that could be out there, if you want to possibly come to the New York Jets, you got Garrett Wilson, you got 2 great tackles, you got a franchise tight end, you got a good running game. The bones are in place for this Jets offense. It's just going to come down to the quarterback position. So shout out to Fashanu, shout out to Membu. Now we'll talk about what Aaron Glenn had to say here in just a second. But we got a massive sale going on right now. And also, these Jets hoodies are absolutely sweet. I think they're normally going for $90+, but right now you could get them for around $40. So if you guys want to take advantage of this link will be in the comment section and description of today's show, chatsports.com/Jets hoodies. A massive sale going on right now. Just click that link, check them out. We would greatly appreciate it. But now Aaron Glenn, he's playing the gamesmanship here yet again this week. Aaron Glenn mentioned to the media that he would not answer any questions regarding the starting QB once again yesterday. Now, I think this is I don't know if this is starting to turn into a bit from Aaron Glenn. I don't know if he's trying to just have fun with the media or whatever it may be. Obviously, a lot of people make a lot of jokes about it, but I will say, shout out to my guy Jake Asman on Twitter, him tweeting this out saying the Jets are undefeated when Aaron Glenn doesn't announce a starting quarterback. So maybe Glenn, maybe him keeping his cards close to his vest ends up working out, and whatever works, I guess. Truly, there's pretty funny stuff from Glenn that he's at least he just thinks it's such a difference in terms of teams preparing compared to Justin Fields or Tyrod Taylor. If I was making the call, I think you go to Tyrod this weekend. You have 0 chance to beat the Patriots if it's Justin Fields at quarterback because they're the best run defense in the league. They're going to shut down Breece Hall and all those guys. You got to give yourself a chance, and especially with no Garrett Wilson, I mean, Fields will have another game where he throws for 75 yards. Just call it like it is, and if he does that, you're probably going to end up losing by 2 scores. So I'll go with Tyrod Taylor. That's just what I would do there. But if you guys made it to the end of today's show, appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. Hit me with the Go Jets down below in the comment section, and we'll get on out of here. As always, Go Jets.